William wakes up at 5:30 every morning. Same alarm, same traffic, same office, same exhausted face staring back at him in the mirror. Every day feels copied and pasted. One morning, while sitting in traffic, he opens his phone and sees a video. A guy on a yacht says, "Quit the rat race, build passive income, escape the system." And something inside him reacts immediately. Not because the advice was intelligent, but because he was tired. Tired people are easy to sell dreams to. So he begins chasing financial freedom. He watches videos every night, starts jumping between crypto, forex, online businesses, side hustles. He stops thinking long-term. Everything becomes about speed. How fast can I escape? And at first, it feels exciting. For the first time in years, he feels hope. But slowly, something strange starts happening. He becomes obsessed with money. Every conversation becomes about income. Every decision becomes emotional. Every opportunity feels urgent. He can't relax anymore. Ironically, the man chasing freedom becomes mentally trapped by money itself. And this is the part most people never notice. A lot of people chasing financial freedom are not building wealth. They are reacting to pain. That reaction changes everything. Because when desperation controls your financial decisions, you stop building systems and start gambling with your future. So in this video, I want to show you 5 reasons financial freedom can quietly become a trap, and why the people who build real wealth often think very differently from the internet version of success. Because once you understand this, you stop chasing escape and start building control. Reason 1, it turns money into an emotional escape. The first trap is simple. Most people are not chasing freedom, they are chasing escape. And those are 2 completely different things. Think about it. When people say, "I just want financial freedom," what they usually mean is, "I hate my current life." They hate waking up early. They hate their boss. Their salary feels too small. Their routine feels repetitive. They feel trapped inside a system they no longer enjoy. So now money becomes emotionally charged. Instead of thinking strategically, they start thinking emotionally. And emotional people make expensive decisions. This is why so many people suddenly quit stable jobs to chase unrealistic online dreams with no real plan. Not because the opportunity was good, but because pain makes bad ideas look intelligent. A tired mind becomes vulnerable. If somebody is emotionally exhausted enough, almost any promise of escape starts sounding like wisdom. And this is exactly what many influencers understand. They know people are desperate for relief. So they sell freedom like a magic door. Quit your job, escape the matrix, become financially free in 6 months. But here's what most people don't realize. If you hate structure, you will probably destroy freedom too. Because freedom without discipline becomes chaos. A person who cannot manage time with a job usually cannot manage time without one. In fact, many people become even less productive once nobody is forcing them to wake up. This is where it gets interesting. The internet sells financial freedom as doing nothing, but wealthy people rarely do nothing. They manage systems, they make decisions, they solve problems, they think years ahead. Even investors who appear relaxed spent years building the machine first. But social media skips that part. It only shows the reward. Never the discipline behind it, never the stress, never the consistency. So people begin worshiping the image of freedom without developing the habits required to sustain it. And that creates the first trap. They escape responsibility instead of becoming stronger. And a person running from responsibility will eventually run into financial disaster too. Reason 2, it creates impatience. Here's the second trap. The obsession with financial freedom makes people impatient, and impatience destroys wealth quietly. A person who wants freedom fast becomes vulnerable to anything that promises speed, fast money, fast profits, fast success. And this is why scams work so well, because scammers don't really sell investments. They sell emotional relief. They tell people exactly what they want to hear. You won't have to struggle anymore. That message is powerful, especially when someone feels trapped financially. A person drowning emotionally is not thinking clearly. They are searching for rescue. And once emotion enters financial decision-making, logic usually leaves the room. This is why people ignore obvious warning signs. Deep down, they want the fantasy to be true so badly that they stop asking intelligent questions. And this is where it gets dangerous. Real wealth is usually slow, boring, predictable, repetitive. That's the part nobody wants to hear. The wealthy man quietly investing every month for 15 years is invisible online. Nobody celebrates him. Nobody calls him a genius. But the guy turning $100 into $10,000 overnight, that becomes viral instantly. Social media rewards dramatic outcomes, not stable behavior. So people slowly begin confusing entertainment with reality. And over time, their brain becomes addicted to dramatic financial outcomes. Normal investing now feels too slow. Consistency feels boring. Patience feels weak. But here's the irony. The people constantly trying to get rich quickly often stay financially unstable the longest because they keep restarting. New business every month, new investment every week, new strategy every day. The moment something feels slow, they abandon it. And this is the part most people don't realize. Wealth often comes from staying in one good system long enough for it to mature. But impatient people interrupt the process constantly. No system survives long enough to compound. And compounding is where real wealth lives. Small actions, repeated consistently, over long periods. That's usually the formula. Not excitement, not hype, not speed. A tree does not grow faster because you keep digging it up every week to check the roots. And money works the same way. The people who build lasting wealth usually look boring in the short term. But in the long term, they become almost impossible to compete with. Reason 3, it makes people hate all work. This one is dangerous. A lot of financial freedom content quietly teaches people to hate work itself, as if working automatically means failure. And this mindset can slowly destroy ambition without people even realizing it. Because work is not the enemy, lack of control is the enemy. There's a huge difference. A doctor who enjoys helping people is working. A business owner is working. An investor managing companies is working. Even artists, athletes, and creators who appear free are still working constantly behind the scenes. But social media markets it differently because escape work forever sounds far more attractive than build useful skills for 10 years. And this creates a psychological problem. People begin searching for lifestyles instead of value creation. They become obsessed with appearances. The laptop on the beach, the expensive apartment, the image of freedom. But money usually follows value, not fantasy. The more useful your skills become, the more leverage you gain in life. A person who can solve difficult problems becomes valuable. A person who communicates well becomes valuable. A person who can manage systems becomes valuable. And valuable people usually earn more over time because the market rewards usefulness. But here's what most people don't realize. Many people chasing financial freedom secretly want success without friction. They want the reward without the repetition, the lifestyle without the process. And unfortunately, real skill is built through repetition, through boredom, through years of doing something even when you don't feel motivated. This is why disciplined people often outperform talented people financially, because they understand something important. Income is not built from motivation. It's built from repeatable behavior. A motivated person may work hard for 2 weeks. A disciplined person keeps going for 10 years. And over time, consistency becomes almost unfair. This is where it gets interesting. Some people become so obsessed with escaping work that they never master anything deeply. They jump too quickly, quit too early, get distracted constantly. One month they want to trade crypto. The next month they want to become entrepreneurs, then real estate, then content creation, then Forex. Their direction changes every time they see someone else succeed online. But mastery takes time, and time is uncomfortable. At the beginning of any skill, progress feels invisible. You work hard and see little reward. That discomfort is where most people quit. But the people who stay long enough eventually gain something powerful: leverage. And once you have leverage, work stops feeling like slavery, because now your skills begin working for you too. Reason 4, it turns life into a constant financial scoreboard. This trap is subtle. At first, financial freedom sounds healthy. It sounds responsible, intelligent, ambitious. And in the beginning, there's nothing wrong with wanting more control over your financial life. The problem begins when money slowly becomes the center of your identity. Now every moment becomes calculation. How much did I make today? How much passive income do I have? How soon can I retire? How much are other people making? Life slowly turns into a scoreboard, and comparison quietly destroys peace. This is why some people become wealthier but more anxious at the same time. Their bank account improves, but their mind never slows down. There's always another target, another income goal, another investment, another milestone. Enough never feels like enough because the goalpost keeps moving. And this is where it gets dangerous. The person who originally wanted freedom now feels mentally chained to numbers. They wake up checking investments. They sleep thinking about money. A market crash ruins their mood. A bad month destroys their confidence. Someone else's success makes them feel behind in life. They become emotionally controlled by financial fluctuations, and that is not freedom. That's dependency in a different form. This is the strange irony nobody talks about. Some people escape physical jobs only to become servants of financial obsession. Their body may feel free, but their mind is constantly under pressure. Every conversation becomes about business. Every hobby becomes monetized. Every free moment feels unproductive. And slowly, they forget how to simply enjoy life without measuring it. This is why some wealthy people still feel empty, because money solved their financial problems, but not their psychological ones. If your self-worth depends entirely on performance, numbers, and status, then peace becomes impossible. There will always be somebody richer, somebody younger, somebody growing faster than you online. And if comparison controls your emotions, you will never feel satisfied for long. Real financial strength includes emotional stability, the ability to think clearly during uncertainty, the ability to stay patient during slow seasons, the ability to live without constantly proving something to the world. And that mindset is rare because modern financial culture rewards obsession, not balance. It rewards noise, constant hustle, and non-stop comparison. But some of the strongest people financially are surprisingly calm. They are not trying to impress everyone. They are not emotionally reacting to every trend. They built systems that protect their peace, not just their income. Because real wealth is not only about having money, it's about having control over your mind while money moves around you. Reason 5. People chase freedom without building systems. This is probably the biggest trap of all. Most people want the outcome without building the structure that creates it. They want freedom before discipline, results before systems, lifestyle before foundation. Everybody wants the image of success, but very few people want the routine required to sustain it. And this is why many financial journeys collapse quietly behind the scenes. Because motivation is unreliable, emotions change, excitement fades, but systems keep functioning even when you don't feel inspired. That's why sustainable wealth usually comes from systems: automatic investing, controlled spending, long-term thinking, consistent income generation, patience, not random bursts of motivation. And here's the truth most people avoid. Your financial life is usually a reflection of your daily behavior, not your dreams. A person who constantly spends emotionally will likely continue doing that even after making more money. A person with no financial discipline at one income level usually carries the same habits into higher income levels too. Because money magnifies behavior, it doesn't fix it. And this explains why some lottery winners become broke again within a few years. The money changed, the system didn't. Their habits remained the same. Their emotional relationship with money remained the same. So eventually, the outcome repeated itself. This is why building wealth is often less about intelligence and more about structure. A simple system repeated consistently usually beats emotional decision-making over time. Real financial freedom is actually less glamorous than social media makes it look. It often looks boring from the outside. Living below your means, ignoring trends, making simple investments, avoiding unnecessary debt, repeating small habits for years. Not flashy, not dramatic, not exciting, but stable. And stability is powerful because stability gives you options. Options give you control. And control creates real freedom. Not fantasies, not performance, not internet lifestyles designed to impress strangers online. Real freedom is much quieter than that. It's waking up without panic, making decisions without desperation, knowing one bad month won't destroy your entire life. It's having systems that continue protecting your future even when your emotions become unstable. And this is where most people misunderstand wealth completely. They think freedom comes from making more money, but often, freedom comes from needing less chaos. A calm financial life is one of the greatest luxuries in the modern world. And the people who achieve that usually think differently. They stop chasing shortcuts. They stop worshiping appearances. They stop trying to look rich. Instead, they build systems slowly, quietly, patiently, because they understand something important. Money is not magic, it's a system. And once that system controls your emotions, your decisions, and your identity, you are no longer free no matter how much money you make. Money is a system. Learn to control the flow, or it will control you.